Hi everybody, this is Oksana, and today we're going to be making this fun little pendant. It's basically already a pendant, just a plain pendant with a glue-on bail. It doesn't have to be a glue-on bail, it could just be any kind of really plain pendant with a loop bail. And it doesn't have to be wire wrapped or anything like that, just something very plain, similar to this, like it could be made out of resin or whatever it is. And we're going to use some wire to make this little frame around it. And then as an optional thing, also to that frame, we can add these little dangles made out of the same wire as well. But that step is optional. You don't have to do this. It could just be the frame. So just a fun, simple way to spruce up a pendant that's plain. And if you want to see how I made this, just keep watching. I'm going to be using 3 tools. These are the Swanstrom wire cutters to cut my wire, and then I'm going to be using these pliers here and these round nose pliers. So the regular pliers here are RX 7890. They are Lindstrom tools, and these are Lindstrom as well. They are RX, oops, it's on the other side, RX 7590. So my wire, I actually just had a scrap piece of wire like this left, so I'm going to use it. It's 21 gauge square dead soft sterling silver. And the reason I'm using it is because I had this like one random little piece left that I wanted to use, but it doesn't have to be square, it can be round. It'll work just as well for this video. The square doesn't necessarily have any advantage in this design. It'll work just as well as round wire, and then it also doesn't have to be 20 gauge. As a matter of fact, I think this would be slightly better with a thicker wire, especially because I'm going to hammer this, and the thicker wire hammers flatter because there's just more of it. So if I had 20 gauge little scrap piece, then I would have used that, but I only had this 21 gauge. But feel free to use 20 gauge. I think that would work even better. So this is 6.5 inches. It's plenty long. It's probably too long. And then this is my little pendant that I'm going to be working with. It is a one of those Aurora Opals, synthetic opals, and it's a doublet where it's got the opal and then it has like a crystal or a glass kind of on top of it. And the stone itself is less than 20. It's probably like 19 millimeters, but if I measure the whole pendant's like an inch or 25 millimeters, but that doesn't matter. The size of the pendant is not important unless your pendant is really big, then you might need an even bigger wire, but this wire is quite long. I think it would work for even like a fairly large stone. And mine happens to have a glue-on bail like this, but all you need is some kind of pendant with a bail that doesn't have much going on around the edges. It can be pretty much most shapes. I've done this with an oval, I've done it with a teardrop, not point up but point down, or a round stone. Most of them would work. And it can be, I've seen like some resin pendants that are made either entirely out of resin, including the bail is resin also, or sometimes you insert the bail and it kind of is in the resin. But you just need something with a bail, like a little loop up top for a bail. I've seen pendants like this made out of glass as well, like an entirely glass pendant with a glass bail. That should work as well, just any kind of pendant with a bail and nothing else. So not a wire wrapped pendant necessarily, because it would have kind of more things going on that would get in your way. So it needs to be just kind of very plain like this. So the first thing you're going to do is you are going to take your wire, and I actually think it's slightly harder with square wire, to be honest, compared to round wire, because square wire can get twisted. It has the edges and then the corners since it's square. So I'm just trying to find like a flat edge and bend it in such a way so that the flat edge is just kind of here. And what you want to do is bend around your stone here. Kind of bend your little wire so that it's going around just kind of roughly. We're getting that similar shape. Adjust as needed. Mine got a little bit crooked. There we go. And then just kind of keep checking. You want it to fit around your stone. Another thing you want to look for is that, and this is a personal preference, but this frame is going to be around your stone, but also there's going to be some spacing between the stone and the frame because it's just going to hang like this. You do need a little bit of spacing. You can't not have any and have it just be like really tightly against the stone. You need at least like a little sliver of space here, but it's up to you how much. So if you want it to be more as part of just kind of like the artistic look of it, that's totally fine. So just kind of figure out how you want it to look. And it also, another thing is I'm shaping mine around the stone, but theoretically we could have bent this to have like a little point on the bottom and there would just be kind of like an empty space here. And that's fine too. It actually doesn't have to be the exact shape of your stone. You could slightly change up the shape as long as the stone fits inside of the shape that you're making. So then what I'm going to do is here at the top, I am bending the wire like this because I want it to go through my bail. Okay, so I need it to go not up like this wire, but just directly to the side. Right, so if you put it through your bail, everything should still be like this, where you have the frame around your stone. There's a slight little gap around it. And actually I need to change these so this wire is in the front. So let me just switch those up. Okay. So you want this wire to be in the front. And then what you want to do here is this wire that we bent that's going through the bail, you want to bend it forward, make it so it has like a little bit of, you know, space, kind of like an equal amount of space on each side of the bail, like so. And then we're bending it forward, and then we're taking this wire that we moved to the front and we're bending it around that other wire. Okay, like this. The good thing about this is you can move the pendant out of the way. So we're bending around like so. And now we're gonna trim. Right here, we're just gonna give that a little trim, leave a little end so you can connect, kind of close up that little loop there that you see. So I'm just gonna take my pliers and this little wire end, and I'm gonna press down on it, essentially just closing that up, closing up that little loop. Until it's just completely closed. All right, so now you just want to put it back in position how it was, like this. Okay, and for this next part, you do want your bail to be here. You know how we just kind of moved it to work on it? Now you want it to be like this, because we're gonna lock it around the bail. So I'm taking this wire here and I'm bending it forward like so, and then I'm bending it around the bail. So I like to just bend it with my hand, just start giving it like a little curve like this. It's gonna curve around the front of your bail. And you don't want there to be like a ton of space in front of your bail, but you want there to be a little bit because you don't want it to just be really like tight to prevent movement. You want it to be able to move around as it needs to. All right, so when you are kind of satisfied with your little curve, just take a look at it because this is how it's gonna go. Oh, I think I accidentally kind of squished my little frame. Now it's a little bit tight around my stone. Let me try to widen it back up. That's okay because it's just a thin little frame, so it's easy to accidentally squish it. All right, so what I'm gonna do now, it's kind of a similar thing that we did, where we're gonna take this wire here and we're gonna bend it down like so. Sorry, I'm trying to find like a good angle so you can see. Like so, and then we're gonna trim it, but leave a little end so that we can take that end and just kind of curve it around, make a little loop. So I'm taking the little wire end and I'm bending it in this direction. There, you can kind of see it. And then I'm going to continue to bend it until it's basically just forming like a loop. And then I'm squishing that loop. Let me try to find a good angle for you to see. There we go. Do you see that? So then you just close that loop up, and that basically just gets rid of that wire end because it's just going all the way around. So now it's attached and it kind of hangs like this around your stone. So when you're wearing it, it'll be kind of flat around your stone as like a little frame, but I do like to hammer it as well. So if it happens to be a little bit off, like the frame, mine is, it's fine, like it goes fine around my stone. It's maybe slightly tight here on the edges, but it's not too bad. But you can kind of play around with the shape of it still a little bit here. If it got a bit squished, you can try to adjust it a little bit. So what I like to do now is I like to hammer this for texture, also for strength. When you hammer it, it gets stronger as well. So to hammer, you're going to need an iron block to do the hammering on, and then you're going to need a chasing hammer. It has a flat edge and then a curved edge. This is a jewelry hammer. I'm going to use both sides. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use the flat side. So that gives the wire a slightly flatter look, as you can see here. And then after that is when you want to use the rounded side, and that is going to add texture. So I did it just on this little spot so you can see the comparison. So see the texture here versus there's no texture here. So if you like the look of that, which I personally do, then using this round side of the hammer, you just want to hammer everywhere, all over the piece to give it this texture. So I'm going to do that real quick off camera because it's just hard for me to hold that iron block in front of the camera. All right, so here's what it looks like when it's been fully hammered. You can see all that texture in the wire. So then if you wanted to spruce this up a little bit, you can use even just the scrap wires that we cut off earlier from the end of this piece of wire here. So here's one of the little scraps. The size isn't a huge deal. It could be longer because then at the end you can just trim it however you want once you attach it to the pendant. But it's about 1 inch long. This is going to be my longest piece. I want it to go from longer to shorter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece, I'm gonna take my round nose pliers and I'm gonna remember where I'm holding it so that I can make the same size loop for all of my little wires. So you can even mark it with like a little permanent marker where to hold it so you get the same size little loop. I'm going to hammer it. So it's easier if you have this all on the ground. It's hard for me to hold this in the air, but you want the loop to be like this. Sometimes I even just hold the loop with my pliers. And then, yeah, I don't think I can do this like this. So I have to put it down on the ground, but I would be holding it like that with my pliers so that the loop is kind of facing down and then this edge is facing me, and then I'm gonna hammer it just with this rounded part of my chasing hammer. So I hammered it for texture, trying to find an angle that you can see the texture. And what you wanna do now is just open up that little loop so that you can attach it to the bottom of this little frame like this, and then you just close the loop back up like so, and now it will hang here on the bottom. And so you just want to add several of them, and then you can trim them so that however you want. It could be, you know, from longest to shortest going this way. I think I want to have a longer piece in the middle, and then I want them to get shorter and shorter and shorter, kind of going up. So I'm just going to do that exactly how I showed you with this little wire. I'm going to do that with several more wires. Alright, so I added a few more of those and I kind of trimmed them so they get shorter and shorter and shorter. So it's a fun little way to spruce up this pendant. The only thing I want to add is just want to use a little bit of sandpaper or a file to file the little ends of these, because they can be a little bit sharp. So you don't want them to be dangerously sharp, but that's it. That is the final look here. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave me a like down below, and don't forget to subscribe. I post new videos every weekend, and stay tuned for my video next week, which is going to be a similar type of design, but it's going to have a bead dangle on the bottom, and instead of this top part here, we're not going to do this. We're going to make a loop on the bottom and attach a dangle instead. So just a slightly different variation of this design coming next week. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.